Hi, folks. Welcome to the Stories We Tell. My guest today is SpeakerPost member Kevin Beatty. Kevin is a marketing executive with over 20 years of experience in global B2B software experience in both small business and enterprise segments. He has taught classes in campaign metrics at the Department of Information at West Virginia University. So he's a corporate guy. He's also an educator. Welcome, Kevin.
Hi, thank you. Thanks for having me.
I am excited to talk with you today about tech marketing or technology marketing in terms of communication, in terms of product management, marketing, and branding, right? And of course, we want to tailor our conversation to students, both undergraduate and graduate students that are interested in marketing. So here's my first question, Kevin. Tell me, how would we describe tech marketing or technology marketing?
Well, I think the first thing is, it's just the word technology, I think brings up a lot of, connotations for folks. But typically when we talk about business to business marketing, it's it's the audience, who's the audience? And in business, it's multiple people. It's not just an IT person. You've got buyers involved. If it's, something that it's a complex sale, you've got groups involved. And so there's a lot of different people as your target audience. Whereas if you're, let's say, marketing a technology product to a consumer, it's a different, different approach. So, what I try to tell students and folks that are interested in marketing is one area, which is business to business marketing, is kind of overlooked because it's not the sexy marketing role that everybody thinks of. And it's different, and you've got to work with a lot of different people. And so it's a great field. A lot of business happens with very big companies and very small companies. So I think it's an exciting field for anyone considering a marketing role to look at and to see, if their interests align with what's required in the role for that kind of a marketing position.
Yeah, and there are lots of jobs in that field, right?
There are, especially with, how technology is changing. So anything from, a lot of the growth in the cloud, the services side of the business, where a lot of companies are transforming what they're doing into that side. You've got artificial intelligence. So a lot of technology companies that are putting that into their product sets. And so it's very exciting. And then, of course, even with, the talk of the metaverse and Web 3.0, and all the things that are there, it's not just for consumers as well. Businesses are also trying to figure out, well, how can we inject ourselves into this new area of marketing and, bring awareness to our products and services.
Interesting. Let me ask you this. If I'm looking for a job in this area, right, what companies should I be looking at? Well, give me some names of some companies where you can get a job in tech marketing.
Well, the obvious ones that come to mind are a lot of your very large companies, whether it's a Microsoft and Amazon. Oh gosh, there's so many. Now that you ask me, I'm like drawing a blank. But a lot of it is not just the benefit of a big company, because when I've worked in big companies, you've got a broad array of opportunities. So as a young marketer coming in, you can see a lot of the different areas that you can explore. So if it's in communications, or if it's in product marketing, or brand and creative, or channel marketing, there's a lot of different areas that you can explore depending on your interest and what you want to do from a marketing perspective. Now, then you could take, all that experience and then go work at some medium or smaller companies where you can do multiple things. So you're not necessarily siloed into working within a specific department and a specific role, but you can, give yourself some broader opportunities. And as I like to joke, you can spin many plates trying to do all sorts of things. But that's kind of, if that's your jam, it's great, because then you've got that kind of variety in everything. So as a young person, kind of, looking at the big companies, I think is good, but don't disregard some of the medium or small businesses too, because they need help. And also look at agencies. There's a whole host of agencies that are out there that really try to augment the skill sets for a lot of these bigger companies. Most big companies that I know of, will have some form of outsourcing into an agency. And a lot of times that's a good way to, work with a variety of different brands. And then you can kind of see with, oh, hey, I like this company, or I like their approach to the market, or what their, corporate ethics are and their corporate responsibility position is. And then you could make a move to try and go work directly for that company.
Got it. Okay. Let's talk about skills. What are the skills that students interested in this field need?
Well, based on my experience over the years, and I kind of use this a lot of times, is I had a product marketer that was probably one of the best product marketers that I've ever, had on my team. Just, he knew what to do and all these good things, but he could not work with the engineers and the other people that were critical stakeholders to be successful. And so one of the things I always stress to, students when I'm talking to them is, you always hear about these soft skills about, writing and communication, but the interpersonal skills, the ability to work with, various groups. And I'm talking like engineers. I love engineers, but engineers sometimes like, hey, I know what it is. You don't, just deal with it. And there's certain nuances that you have to, work with those folks, but it could be real exciting. It's taking something, a lot of times it's very technical and putting into a sense of, okay, how am I going to help somebody? So the number one skill I think I would tell any student is, your ability to work with various disciplines as a marketer is going to be key to your success and how you're going to be able to do a good job, producing, whether it's content or, fact sheets or, product differentiation guides, whatever the case may be. Being able to do that is going to set you apart far and away than if you're just good at one skill and kind of sit at your desk and do that.
Right. So do they need like a marketing degree? Do they need a technology degree in addition to obviously the soft skills? What are the other things that students need?
I think from a lot of marketers I've seen, it runs the gamut. I've seen a lot of engineering people, a lot of STEM fields become marketers, very good marketers. I've seen, regular liberal arts degrees, people that become great marketers. I think the bottom line is having a sense of curiosity and creativity. And now with all the different marketing tools available, a certain sense of analytics, because, everything you're doing, you're trying to determine, okay, the money I'm spending, is it, producing what I want, either in the short or the long term. So it's really a balance. But I think the sense is bring your love of what you have as an undergraduate into a marketing role, and have that sense of curiosity and be able to get in there and say, okay, if I'm interested in a particular type of technology, for example, some marketing teams need somebody with a very technical background, and then you might be a really good fit. If it's communication role, obviously you want to make sure you've got, good grammar and other skills like that. So I guess what I would say is, don't discount if you're interested and curious about marketing. If you've got whatever your bachelor's degree is in, don't discount that you could be successful in marketing just because you may not have a marketing or business degree.
Right, right, yeah. Would you recommend learning any software?
I think the biggest thing, well, yes. I mean, because like I said, I mean, there's all sorts of tools, whether it's from Google Analytics or a number of marketing automation software platforms. I happen to use HubSpot at my company, where, tools like that are very helpful, but there's so many different applications out there, but knowing how to use a good CRM system, a marketing automation system, having that skill, how to use those technologies to make your job easier is definitely going to make you more attractive. And of course, there's a lot of different, Google has a lot of certificates that you can get out there that are free. HubSpot has a lot of certificates that you can learn on its platform. So even before you go into a job, you could kind of prepare yourself as a student to say, okay, well, I've got skills in these various platforms.
Got it. Yeah, no, I think that's really helpful. Okay, last question, Kevin. You obviously have many 20 plus years of experience doing this, but let's say a newcomer, in the similar field, what does the day in the life of that person look like?
Well, I'll describe quickly two type of roles, because when I was more at the larger companies, it could be, when I was in product marketing, it's a very specific things you're doing, and you're working with other groups to bring in, your work product as a product marketer with the groups that do branding and communications. And so you're part of a team bringing those pieces of the puzzle together and putting that picture together. If you're working at a smaller business where you're required to do multiple things, then you're kind of the juggler in a circus where you're doing, a lot of different functions. And, there's benefits to both. But, the main thing you're doing is you're having a lot of fun if that's what you enjoy doing. Like I said, if you're trying to be able to tell customers, hey, how can I help your life, work better, have a better service, make your life easier? When I was a young student, I really didn't want to go into business because I didn't see it as a helping profession. And, over the years, I kind of changed my mindset, because you really are helping people. It's not like you're helping people like in a doctor sort of way or a lawyer sort of way. But once you start talking to customers and you listen to, the challenges that they have and the frustrations they have, and if you can bring a solution to them that makes them happy and makes them say, geez, thanks, because, this is making my life so much easier. Yeah, well, now you're in a helping profession. And you know what? It feels good to do that, for people. So if that's what you like, there's all sorts of opportunities for you. And I think marketing is, like I said, if you like creative and analytical and a balance of the two, definitely business to business marketing is an area that I would recommend looking at.
Wonderful. Wow. I mean, I've spent years in marketing myself, but I think I've learned something new today, and some of the ideas, pearls of wisdom. I mean, I like that, the way our service mentality, the fact that you want to give back, you want to help, you can do that in something like marketing. Even though it doesn't feel very obvious, there are ways to make that happen. So thank you, Kevin, for taking the time to talk with me. And I know that a student somewhere who's watching our little chat here will benefit from it. So thank you very much.
Well, thanks for having me. I've enjoyed the time.